So, I've been researching um, the idea of America's divine supremacy. And so basically, um, yeah, is all about this idea in United States history that the United States has a unique purpose in on the world stage. And so this starts with a timeline, starting with John Winthrop, his sermon titled A Model of Christian Charity, um, the famous metaphor of the Massachusetts Bay Colony being a city on a hill. And we go through a few events, um, and then we get to John O'Sullivan's first publication of the idea of manifest destiny. Um, Along the way, we talk about the Declaration of Independence, President Monroe's Monroe Doctrine, and we kind of explore how the idea of America's divine supremacy started off as a personal call to better behavior, being an example to the world of how Christians should behave, and it then develops into a what is essentially foreign policy, the Declaration of Independence, um, separating from Great Britain, President Monroe's Monroe Doctrine. The United States is protecting protecting Latin America and South America from European expansion, and then Manifest Destiny, and stopping from being the protectors of South and Central America. The United States can now expand aggressively into those territory, all in the name of America's divine supremacy. And so the first part of my research has been exploring all that. The second part has zeroed in on the different ways Manifest Destiny was used by politicians and through other publications to justify American expansionism. And I have identified three key categories of how it was used to justify American expansion. Um, the first one is a American responsibility. Um, so this is going American moral responsibility. So this is going to be things like Senator Lewis Cass saying, "You said this is a paraphrase, who said that since the United States has a temporary advantage over Mexico, it is much smarter um, for the United States to go to war now with Mexico as opposed to later when that advantage is gone." Uh, he said he cited a aphorism that was common during his day: better to fight for an inch now than a acre tomorrow or in a year. Other examples of moral responsibility. This is going to show up in a poem from William Crosser's publication. The poem's titled "The Great Pacific Railroad," and it's talking about how the United States needs to spread its railroad so it can go and present to China and to the rest of the world, spread its railroad so that way it can spread democracy, spread civilization is the word the poem actually uses. The second category is America's superiority. A big aspect of this is going to zero in on America versus Mexico, with how American, being mostly a Protestant country, used Mexico's Catholicism, because it's a Catholic country, to legitimize the idea of Mexican inferiority. And then the third category was America's right to spread, or to expand. And this is going to be things like President Polk's inaugural address, where he um, used the idea of manifest destiny to defend America's right to expand and take over to annex Texas. And so he's essentially treating it like a land dispute between two countries from medieval Europe, where he's saying, well, 50 years ago, 150 years ago, um, King so and so of Germany had this land, but 200 years before that, it was actually French, and so we are going to go to war again to take it. And so my research has been going through a lot of those primary sources, um, getting some verifying, uh, corroborating evidence, support from historians, and explaining how all that fits together with the idea of America's divine supremacy.